The Mad Titan has returned once more to bedevil the Marvel Universe, and this time only the Illuminati can stop him, but when a deeper mystery begins to form, is anything actually what it seems? Well, let's hop into the pages of Thanos issue number 1, a brand new miniseries courtesy of Christopher Cantwell, and find out what happens next together, shall we? So then, our story actually begins far from the cold, dark recesses of space, instead somewhere a lot more familiar, Fresno, California. It's there we're introduced to a new character, a young woman named Roberta, who, yeah, if you have eyes in your head, you're probably thinking exactly what I'm thinking. Holy crap, that girl looks like Mistress Death. And if you're really like me, you're probably thinking, wow, Roberta looks like every girl at the mall I never worked up enough courage to talk to, and now I live my life with regret. Damn it, Joel, it's 2023. You said you weren't gonna overshare anymore. The visual similarities aren't where it stops either. As we learn from her internal monologue, Roberta is actually quite obsessed with death and other such macabre things. She tells a long story about how she was watching one of those trashy reality dating shows, and one of the contestants actually opened up about his grandfather's death and got really raw and really real for a minute, about mortality and the fragility of life and everything, and while it really struck a chord with Roberta, it freaked out everyone else on the show, and yeah, no doubt he ended up losing. Did I mention too that her day job also just so happens to be working at a vitamin store? Yeah, that's right, a lady who looks like death and is obsessed with death has a job wherein she tries to help people prolong their lives just a little bit. Also, when she's not at work, she decides to spend her nights in local graveyards. One grave in particular she seems to keep coming back to, a grave belonging to one Maria Collins. What's the actual connection to the two women? Well, it's a little hard to tell right now. Maybe it has something to do with the apocalyptic dreams that Roberta is having every night about a black hole being torn open. Is this an omen she should be worried about? You bet your ass it is. The next day at work, an elderly woman actually accosts Roberta at the counter. This woman apparently knew Maria when she was alive and thinks that Roberta is actually a spitting image of her. Things only get weirder too when the old lady asks, very cryptically, did she let you come back? Again, I have the sneaking suspicion that she's invoking Mistress Death. Roberta, of course, has no idea what any of this means, and thankfully this very awkward scene is interrupted when at that very moment, Fresno ends up coming under an alien attack. But it's not just any alien at the helm of this attack, it's freaking Thanos, who seems to be doing just fine now ever since the conclusion of that Kieran Gillen Eternal story, which FYI was probably one of the best Thanos as a villain stories they've told in a very, very long time. The Mad Titan vows to destroy all of Fresno unless the person he's after is brought to him. Again, he doesn't say outright that he's after Roberta, but I think it's pretty clear he's after Roberta. Speaking of Roberta, she is just having the worst day on record ever as she's forced to dig herself out of the wreckage of the store that basically fell on top of her. If nothing else, though, she did manage to save that weird lady who was asking her a million questions. So if nothing else, it's safe to assume that Roberta is actually a good person. Her day continues to take strange and unexpected turns when she ends up coming face to face with Iron Man and the rest of the Marvel Illuminati, who have showed up just a little too late. There's actually a great bit where Roberta wrongly assumes that these are the Avengers who have come and helped her, only for them to be like, no, we're a little different. We like to handle stuff off book and behind the scenes. We also know for certain that this story takes place in the present because Iron Man is wearing his Type Nil stealth armor that he's wearing right now. The discussion between Roberta and the Illuminati continues to get only stranger as well when it seems that she actually has working knowledge of all the different members of the team, and not just the celebrity members like Emma Frost or Mr. Fantastic. She knows Adam Bashir, Blue Marvel, which is pretty impressive and makes her all the more attractive. As the comic comes to a close, Emma lets it slip that she maybe used her mental powers to do something to Roberta, but that she'll never get her answers if they aren't able to survive Thanos' onslaught. And so that was Thanos issue number 1, everybody, and I gotta say Christopher Cantwell does a good job kicking off this brand new miniseries with a strong and compelling mystery. Cantwell, if you couldn't tell, between writing the Gold Goblin and Doctor Doom and Namor, he's kind of made a nice little cottage industry for himself at Marvel, writing about villains and anti-heroes and other such engrossing dickheads that we as fans just cannot help but be fascinated with. Here, though, he pulls out the tried and true writing device of not actually writing about the villain at all, instead writing about a completely different character who finds themselves stuck in the villain's origin. That way Thanos is actually free to be as bad as he wants to be. I appreciate too bringing back the whole Mistress Death idea, and again, I don't think I'm alone in figuring that Roberta either is Mistress Death or a reincarnation of Mistress Death or something like that. Feels like ever since the movie universe kinda ditched the whole Mistress Death baggage, the comics didn't tackle it near as much. But clearly Cantwell has a pitch, and I'm very interested to see where it's going to go from here. Overall, I'd give this one a very positive 8 out of 10. It certainly felt like nothing else I read this week, and I enjoy it for being as refreshing as it was. Hey there everyone, it's your old pal Cape Joel again, thanking you so much for watching to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, why not check out my Amazon link down in the description. Yes, that's right, the Cape Joel channel officially has its own Amazon storefront now. You can pick up a comic or anything else for that matter, and if you did, you'd really be helping me in the channel. So with that out of the way everyone, I will see you again next time. Bye-bye.